Are we on? Yeah, I saw it. Hey, everybody. Well, it's your boy, SergDragon. Once again, welcome to another edition of the Heavens Monsters podcast. With me always is your boy. Welcome back, T-Money, king of puppies. King of puppies. Louder. Puppies. King of what? Puppies. I said louder. Louder. Puppies. Pepe. What the hell's up, Pepe? Okay. We're just messing around. Anyway, this is the, what would it be? The 11th, December 11th through 13th, because today's the 14th, Friday, of this 2018 edition of Wrestling featuring WWE and Impact, since that's all that's happened. Okay. The finals of Mixed Match Challenge will happen at TLC this Sunday. The winners of the representing Raw and SmackDown sides, oddly enough, check this out. We had another switch out. Finn Balor, because of injuries, thanks to Baron Corbin and Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley, couldn't compete, so they had to switch him out with Apollo Crews. And they're using his name, Apollo Crews, now. It's not just saying Apollo. They're using the Crews name again.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They can't. He's on 205 Live?
No. It was during the Mixed Match Challenge.
Well, yeah, but see, that's different. You can do it on Facebook, but you can't do it on Monday Night Raw.
What?
Yeah, that's what.
What?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like disaster strikes when switches are made. Because Bayley and Apollo Crews lost to the unexpected lowest score keeping team. Freaking 0-4 before the semifinals, and they started having a winning streak, and it took them to the finals. Mona Alicia with Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox.
Let me tell you why they use that name Apollo Crews though.
What?
When commentators say that name slips, that usually slips.
No, they said it multiple times. Even in the back before the show started, Apollo Crews.
But did you not know what Vince McMahon got on them about that doing that?
Even on the what do you call it? Trash talk before the match.
Yeah, Vince McMahon got on them by doing that because because those things, those having an earpiece. Yeah. Vince McMahon is the one that's talking to him.
Well, then how many times did he get on them because they said it multiple times at different parts of the show?
That's because Vince McMahon wasn't there. But then
and Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, sometimes he's there on Monday Night Raw. But he goes.
Yeah, we seen that. We seen him right there. Once you come past the curtains, there's Vince McMahon right there.
Yeah,
and some of the specials.
And then they start talking to him. He says, "Don't be using that name on my show."
And it ended up doing the same thing for SmackDown side. We had, well, actually, I'm kind of happy about this. Miz and Asuka. Team Asuka. Combining Asuka's name with awesome. Asuka. You get it? If you didn't understand, that was the whole point of the whole time. Versus, once again, the bottom stack equal to Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. We had R-Truth and Carmella not getting a single win until it really counted to get into the finals, all the way to the finals. But this time, it wasn't because of bad teaming, a bad switch. They were the winners of the last year's, and they were hoping to win again, but Team Asuka and Miz could not work on the same page. Miz being an egotistical maniac, as always, saying it was Asuka's fault, never his, saying that she lost, they lost because of her, but she got the win last time.
But of course, if you're here, you're going to say that.
Yep, but Asuka kicked him in the face after, and this was his own damn fault. He pulled Asuka in front of him when Carmella was going to super kick him. I'm about to say sweet chin music. That's why I said wrong. Yes, not sweet, super. But that's what set her off, and she kicked the hell out of him and walked off. And R-Truth got the win. They're going. the most unlikely people to win ended up going to the finals, which makes sense on account that the prize would be a all expense paid to anywhere on this planet, which they have to share, whoever wins, Fabulous Truth or Malaysia. But the main thing was being at number 30 for the women's and men's Royal Rumble coming next year in January. That's going to be good. Let's see who actually gets a spot and see if it actually mattered.
Actually, I have some bad news for you.
What?
There won't be more. They're thinking about not doing that anymore.
They say that.
No, Vince and Triple H was talking about it.
No more women Royal Rumbles?
Right.
We will riot! We will riot! And that's not a Ruby Riot chant. That is a literal chant for equal opportunity in the women's revolution. That's not right. That's not right.
Oh, but here's the thing. I'm
an equalist. I say let the women fight. Let them prove themselves.
Yeah, but some people won't agree with that. They like see...
Two middle fingers in the air.
They like what the women did back in the day, brother.
Oh, you mean the part where they were showing their butts and showing their sexuals and just making themselves out for pin-up girls?
I was at the show.
Yeah.
I was at the show, and I heard, and a lot of guys and women were chanting that.
I mean, it's okay, but at least give the women the chance to show that they can fight. Come on. Don't just... I swear.
But here's the thing. I know who's going to win the Royal Rumble next year.
Who?
That they is discussing. They're going to bring him back. And they said it's going to really happen.
Let's see. A premonition.
No,
let's see.
No,
From King of Puppies.
They called him. He said he's going to do it.
What?
The Rock.
Woohoo! Let's see if he comes.
No,
he's not one of my favorites of all time, but he's yours.
Yeah, he said he is coming.
Do it.
He said he is coming.
Personally, for me, when it comes to the Royal Rumble, it's every man and woman, because since we got the women's Royal Rumble this year, for themselves next year, for themselves. That's what I love. I want to see who wants it more.
And what to tell you the truth, he really is going to win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, they're staging it this time.
Yes.
Son of a bitch. But we'll see if somebody...
No. They want The Rock to win. They want The Rock
so they want, but they're not going to...
Yes, they are. That's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Well, I will say this much. If it's The Rock, take nothing away from the man. That man keeps working out for his films. He keeps that $1 million body. And rightfully so, because that's how much he fucking makes. Every movie, over $1 million. Right? There you go. But that said, let's go ahead and I already mentioned the winners. Right? We have Fabulous Truth and Malaysia, Jinder Mahal, Alicia Fox, Carmella, and R-Truth going to the finals at TLC. Will it be at the kickoff? Probably. I hate it when they do that. Because courtesy of Survivor Series, the kickoff didn't matter.
What do you think? They don't never count kickoff as a part of the show.
Fuck you.
They just never do that.
6-1, motherfuckers. SmackDown won the tag team. Usos brought it home. 6-1.
The kickoff.
I wish I had 6 fingers on this one.
The kickoffs don't get in your ratings, bro.
Oh, do this. 6-1. 6-1. Anyway, let's move on to 205 Live.
You should know that.
With 205 Live, the starting match was between...
Buddy Murphy and Grand Malik.
Yes. They were Drake Maverick, right? What's his name? I had his name earlier.
Yeah, you got it.
See, I'm testing myself. Drake Maverick, the general manager of 205 Live, as well as the manager of Authors of Pain, AOP, decided to have a warm-up match for the Cruiserweight representatives for the Cruiserweight title. Buddy Murphy, the champion, versus the number 1 contender for his rematch, Cedric Alexander. In a one-on-one competition between his choosing of opponents. Grand Metalik was his choice to fight on account that Noam Dar, I got his name right, Chris Petrie. Oh, and a shout out to our boys, Xavier Hill and Mike Henry. I'm sorry for not mentioning you in the last video. We were on time because it was hitting that 30-minute mark and it hit it. So I was like, hurry up. So I'll mention you. Don't forget. Sorry. Don't think I've forgotten you. And I'll make sure to remember to put you in the comments down below for a link to your YouTube page. So check it out, people. Anyway. With Noam Dar injury, he couldn't fight Buddy Murphy. So he got Grant Metalik to fight against him. And dude, they damn near tore it out. That was the start of the show. And the people were cheering like hell. They were like, Buddy Murphy, Grant Metalik. Everybody was going, losing their heads. But Buddy Murphy got the win, proving that he is the 205 Live juggernaut. What's next? No, that can't be it. There was another match before that. What? No, there was more. Yeah, there was. There was the match between. Wait, was that a match? There was talk of Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak, I think his name is. And Jack Gallagher fighting against D. Brian Kendrick and that guy.
Oh, Akira
Tozawa, yeah. Yeah, there was talk about him changing his look. Akira Tozawa actually said, you know what the difference between you back then and me? You have not changed your look. Come with me. He says, like, well, we're going to have a new look for D. Brian Kendrick. Also, there was talk with Davari and Hideo Itami talking about respect and what 205 Live has become since his injury started and he's been put on the shelf. That 205 Live has been nothing but catering to the fans and just being showcase. They're not fighting like Hideo Itami, who says he demands respect. So that's what was pretty much it. I thought there was another match between it, but I guess not.
But you know, people say about Davari that he's living under his older brother's shadow.
I would not be surprised. We have not seen Davari in a while. The last time we saw him was at Impact. Mm-hmm. I have not heard from him since then. I don't know if he's in Ring of Honor or somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I don't keep up with New Japan Wrestling and Ring of Honor. Yeah, Ring of Honor. I do.
I love Ring of Honor because
I need to. I can get the app, but do I watch it? That's the question. The sites I go to sometimes don't have it.
Because I like what they do, because they always you always have women show off their sexiness.
Mm. Oh, and word to the wise, prior to last week, I didn't mention this, but what was the guy? Damn it, what's his name? The king of the cruiserweights, former king of the cruiserweights.
Neville,
there you go. I was saying Advil, but I got mixed up. There was an in his name, but I kept hearing Neville. Okay. Mm-hmm. Neville was in a wrestling show. I had my boy Mikey. Mikey, look up that name. I think it was CPW. That's the name of the wrestling brand. It's CPW. Yeah, I think that's it. I could be wrong. It could be PCW, but I think it's CPW.
Probably PCW.
He wrestled in that paper in that show. His face was on the cover, so I was like,
yeah, because he's never gonna go back to WWE.
And he's jacked like a mother.
Mm-hmm. Woo! Because he blames all that stuff that happened to him on Triple H and Vince McMahon. Mostly on Triple H.
Another case of that. I would have to see how they work to actually understand what they're going through. Because there's a lot of heat on Triple H.
Because Triple H, he always try They said that he had the biggest ego. He likes to bury people who said that he don't think they're good.
Yeah. Well, to end 205 Live, it was Cedric Alexander versus Tony Nese. I got his name right, Chris Petrie. I got his name right, Tony Nese. The man who thinks he's better than everybody else because he has 8 reasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's just 8 reasons that he keeps to his diet. Good on him. You have an 8-pack. Good on you. Keep to it, otherwise you'll end up like Al Schwarzenegger. You see his body now?
I remember that dude you talking about. He used to be fat.
Tony Nese?
Yes. That you talking about. Yeah, he's coming to. I think they said he's coming to the performance center. And he was a fat guy.
He definitely changed that. But he ended up fighting against Cedric Alexander because after losing to Buddy Murphy, Tony Nese delivered not 1, but 2 losses, 2 pins, 2 weeks in a row after he lost the title, Cedric Alexander. So after finally beating him the week prior, or 2 weeks ago, I think it was, Cedric Alexander finally shuts up Tony Nese once and for all. And them two, after that, Cedric Alexander celebration is interrupted by Buddy Murphy. They get in the ring, they tussle a little bit, and Cedric Alexander is the one standing in the ring after it all, leaving that statement saying, "I'm coming back from what's mine." And that's the Cruiserweight title. Next up on NXT, we'll be right back. Okay, we're back, but ladies and gentlemen, this is a news to me. Thanks to his what's it called? Wrestling Source. WrestlingSource.org or .com. .com. This is some new information. It doesn't mention the first match. It mentions NXT. That's a coworker. He mentions NXT releases a WWE super talent. Some guy named Nick Miller. You know him? I don't.
I can Google him.
You can Google him. So, what was the first thing? Oh yeah, the first thing that started off the show was the match between Undisputed Era member Bobby Fish versus Mr. 1%. I think it's 1%, Mr. 1%er. EC3.
That's him. Nick Miller.
Oh, wait a minute. I seen that guy.
Yeah, they released him.
He was part of a tag team. What?
They released him.
Wait a minute.
They fired him.
He was part of the Mighty. He wrestled that night. I didn't care for that match.
Yeah.
Here, go back to the thing, the Wrestling Source. Oh, Mighty is down 1. There's no Mighty anymore. It was a stupid name to begin with, though. Mm-hmm. They didn't even live up to the name. Bebe.
They released him.
Bebe. See you never. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe the NXT fans loved him because somebody came back to NXT. I will say that for later. But the match between Bobby Fish and EC3 was stupendous, I'll say. It was good on account that there was outside interference the whole damn time. But EC3 managed to get the schoolboy pin on Bobby Fish, and the Undisputed Era was just jumping him from behind, and here comes Heavy Machinery. And I like that guy. He says, "Suck it," or "Duck it," or "Tucky." Well, Tucky came in, and EC3's revving him up. They managed to get one guy from the Undisputed Era back into the ring, and EC3's pumping him up, and he does the reverse worm elbow drop. Boom! Stating that Heavy Machinery wants those NXT tag team titles, and they're going to get it at the next takeover. I think it's Philadelphia or Phoenix. Phoenix, I think it is. So let us see. Wait, where's the next match? Right?
He passed.
I'm making sure. Okay, that's it. Yeah, this is the match. Oney Larkin and Danny Burch. I have to read this to remember their names. Versus the Mighty. Those two are pretty good together. They got the fans cheering like crazy, even though I skimmed through it. I could hear them the whole times. I got my LG does this when I'm it goes and I can hear this crowd screaming each and every time. And the commentators, of course. But Oney Larkin and Danny Burch win the match with one hell of a headbutt. Boom! And a team up DDT with him. He got the guy's legs on his shoulder, and the guy delivering DDT from high up. That's how they won. So this is the match where I guess the guy waved his hands, and Nick Miller waves bye-bye. Just, I'm done. He's like, I'm done.
Sadly, like I said, he's been really...
Yeah, Shane Thorne and Nick Miller. Mick Miller go, no more Mighty. No more.
Yeah, because he said he's going to return. He's returning home. He's going to come back home for personal reasons.
And
he decided to let him go.
And I'm trying to remember here, cause damn, I'm trying to think here. Because the next match is Maya Yim. Former known as Jade from Impact Wrestling. I'm still trying to get her name. There's a little I have a friend named Maya, so it's Maya Yim. That's what I heard. Versus Renee Gonzalez for a number one contender for a spot in the number one fatal 4-way. I'm all over the place. It's the... Hey everybody, I'm gonna make this short because I got such small storage space right now. But the match between Maya Yim and what's her name?
Rena Gonzalez
was for a spot in the fatal 4-way to determine the next number one contender for the NXT Women's Champion. And the finals was a blind open challenge to the North American Championship with Nick Ricochet. And surprise, surprise, the return of Tyler Breeze. And man, you want to talk about some love for Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze had, Tyler's gorgeous and Bree is gorgeous. And when he said to the ref, don't touch me, because he was doing the 4 count, he's, don't you touch him. Don't you touch him. Ricochet won the match though, because damn, that was a good match. That is the best I've seen of Tyler Breeze. Seriously, he needs to come back to NXT because he's not doing so good on Raw and SmackDown. So we're going to end it right there, and we're going to go to NXT. I just talked Impact Wrestling. Be right back. Hey everybody, because we got such a short time, we're just going to mention the main things. The finals for the 4-way Intercontinental the X Division Ultimate X match has been decided. I guess we'll leave it at that because I can't even look up the names. If I can pause it, maybe we can mention it later. But surprise, surprise, an interview between Taya Valkyrie and Tessa Blanchard to reveal that there will be a special guest referee in the form of Gail Kim between their match because they are told there will be a stipulation. After that, that counts. It was a match between Phoenix and Santana of LAX and the Lucha Brothers. Phoenix winning that match, and there was nothing but respect, even though there's still talk about bad blood. Strong Woman Jordan Grace versus hired woman for gun for hire woman Ruby Gaze, and it's just Strong Woman won. At the end of the night, it would be Moose versus Brian Cage, and that match ended in a disqualification on account of Eddie Edwards showing up. Now, while I say this much, that match was so good that Eddie's interference was still loved nonetheless. especially considering he's just going to kick his ass. We're going to have a match. I know for a fact we're going to have a match. Mm-hmm. It was undisputed. Plus, you can look up to see who's going to fight in the Ultimate X in the Fatal 4-Way. But I will say this. Raven was introduced in this episode for this week's, once again, but in the form of Eli Drake. Coming over there, talking about I am the last of a dying breed, and just talking smack, saying that he is going to kill Abyss in that Monsters Ball match at Homecoming. And he says he wants him to tune in. Don't be surprised if Raven shows up in that match. Mm-hmm. So while he's looking for that, we'll be right back. Well, we couldn't find it, but I can say this much. The guy who follows, what's his name? Evan Bourne? Mm-hmm. Evan Bourne, or what was his...
what was his name? I'm trying to think. I know what you're talking about.
Matt
Rydell? Yeah, Matt Rydell.
Matt Sydal.
Oh,
Matt Sydal, thank you. Matt Sydal's apprentice will be featuring in that Ultimate X match, as well as one of the members of OVE, the Rascals, and Rick Swann. And Rick Swann has some heated blood, and I think Sami Callihan is going to fight the Mac. Ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry we had to end it this way because it's my storage space. I'm looking to see why it takes 30 minutes and takes up 4 gigabytes of storage space for some reason, while things I download for 30 minutes is much less than that. I mean, not even a gig. It's millibytes. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, and I'll say this much. You ready to end this?
Yes.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Hit that notification bell. Hit that subscribe button if you like the content, and hit that notification bell for the next episode next week of Heaven's Monsters Podcast. And I hope you enjoy TLC. Hopefully we'll see him there, and we'll do a Heaven Monster Podcast then and there at my place. See you, and good night.
Bye. Good night.